This short video provides an overview of our draft paper titled Rebuilding NGO Leadership. This paper is primarily for executives and board members of large international NGOs who are concerned about leadership and what we term leadership systems in your respective organizations.
James and Morgana have been observing, reflecting, and studying the leadership challenges in large NGOs for over 17 years. As they worked on their two earlier publications, Building a Better International NGO 2013 and Navigating Change for International NGOs 2016, the issue of NGO leadership, in its broadest sense, lingered uncomfortably. Their intention was to have a chapter on leadership in the first book, then the second, but alas, turned out that this leadership puzzle was not easy.
Over the past few years, they began again the journey to further explore this leadership puzzle. Why does the job of leading large international iNGOs seem so hard? How is the changing external environment impacting the type of leaders and leadership we need? How can we build a pipeline of strong future leaders and perhaps get away from the reactive, sometimes knee-jerk appointments, too often with widely unrealistic expectations?
This paper is broken into 4 parts. Part 1, Taking Stock, attempts to the state of leadership in our international NGOs in 2024. In Part 2, we try to piece together the fabric of a strong leadership system, drawing out what we regard as the most important pillars. In Part 3, we tackle the central issue of selecting, developing individuals, and especially on how we might build a stronger pipeline of individual leaders for the future. Finally, in Part 4, What to Do, we try to bring all of this together to begin to create a plan of action.
A huge thank you to all our contributors for your time and particularly for your open and candid perspectives. Your inputs have been a tremendous help to us in shaping our analysis and thinking. We've included many of your direct quotes, especially in Part 1, as they bring much life and colour to this paper. The paper outlines a series of conclusions at the end of each section. However, if we had to boil down our conclusions into a few core messages, they would be as follows.
Leadership is a broad system with many interlinked pieces and much more than about a few high-profile individuals. These individuals are, of course, a central part of any leadership system, but nonetheless, just one part.
The leadership systems of many large NGOs are fragile, stretched, tired, and in some cases, simply broken. Some we believe have been broken for some time. Boards, executives, and leaders throughout need to pull together to rebuild these leadership systems to have a chance to deliver on your mission and objectives.
Weak or broken leadership systems can allow organizations to drift into what we call a low-performance culture, which can be crippling and contagious. A low-performance culture can undermine all of the pillars of your leadership system. Beware. Every appointment you make has the opportunity to reinforce or undermine your performance culture.
Do not be hoodwinked by the temptation to seek heroic external appointments to paper over the cracks in your leadership system. Instead, build a solid bottom-up pipeline of leadership talent. We have suggested a bottom-up leadership attribute pyramid in Part 3.
The need for what we do is enormous. Poverty, conflict, injustice, inequality, hunger. However, the role of large NGOs is under more challenge and scrutiny than ever before. We need strong leadership and leadership systems to navigate a route and contribution to have a chance to deliver on what is needed in the decade ahead.